Alright, we're back. There's the problem. Dumbass grabbed the wrong push rods. Okay, these are the correct ones for the exhaust. So just grabbing through the box. The push rods have been back. I grabbed the ones in the wrong box. So, you look at your push rods now. You have the intake push rod here. See, these are all the same height over here. So this is intake, these are exhaust, and these are plus 200. So these are for big stroker motors. So if you have a big stroker motor, you use the exhaust push rod for the intake, and then you have a 200 longer for the exhaust. That gives you a plus 200 set. If you run a production set, you run two of each one of these. So what I did was I grabbed two of them out of the wrong box. So I had to, instead of being a little bit longer, we're a lot longer, see, from one or the other. So that's my problem. So that's my screw up. I grabbed the wrong stuff. See, when the stuff's marked with crane numbers and not normal numbers, it makes it hard to figure out. Especially grabbing stuff late at night and dark. I don't know who would do that. So anyway, this one doesn't work unless you get a big motor. Not too many people do big evos anymore. Alright, so now we know what the problem is. It's an easy fix. Put the correct parts in the motor, dumbass. Okay, so we put those two back in there. These two are the same. We loop these up. Alright. Okay, now I get to pull this one back up. I got the wrong stuff. So this is what a correct set looks like, see? Two are just a little bit longer than the other, not like that like it was. Alright, extra set of push rods. Now twin cams are shorter than those. Twin cams and Evo Sportster are about the same length. They're interchangeable. Okay, so now I have to pull out the exhaust. One of these. Now the easiest way to do that is just to pull the shaft out and not pull up the whole box. To pull up a shaft, all you gotta do is pull out the retaining bolt, which is this one. Voila, it's out. Push the shaft out. Rocker comes out. Push rod comes out. Push rod goes in the junk pile. Put junk pile over here. And then we got the new push rod right here. Put oil on it. Put the correct push rod in the hole this time. And reverse it. If you're doing a cam swap and push rod change, all you gotta do is pull off the covers here, not the whole base assembly, just the upper covers. Pull out your shaft here. You pull out one bolt, that's all you gotta do. Some guys get carried away and pull the whole damn motor apart. Don't need to do that. Okay, get my top dead center again because I moved it. Right there. Alright, we're back. Okay, now the box doesn't have tension on it like it was before. And we have clearance on our push rod now. So you should have some clearance in your push rods when they're in correctly, see? Okay, it's supposed to go up and down. Okay, when you don't have that, then you have a problem. Okay, next thing you gotta do is we gotta look for clearances on the valve spring collars. Right now we can move stuff if we have to. So you look up inside of here, right there. See there's clearance on that side? This side here is usually gonna be a little bit more. There's always one that has more clearance than the other. Now if I need a little more clearance on this side over here, I can actually shove the box out, or shove the box this way. Oh, which way are we going here? We're hitting here, so you shove the box this direction here, because all these holes have a little bit of clearance in them. You can shove it that way about 20 thou, and that'll give you a little extra clearance right there without having to cut anything. Now I shoved the box this way so that this here I'd have this clearance. Now if I shoved the box this way, it'd be hitting on this collar right now. So it's a matter of how you bolt these things down is what happens. Okay, so back over here. So right now these 4 bolts here are tight, just by hand. I'm going to tighten up the 1/4 inch ones. Okay, we got little Allens right here. Tighten those up too. Use a little 4 inch for doing this, or you can use an Allen socket or however you want to do it. These aren't full torque yet. We're just bringing them down until they touch. And put a little bit of tension on them. Okay, now we got to torque them down. So I'm lazy, so I have preset wrenches, 1/4 inch and 3/8. Nobody dicked with these damn things like they like to do. We should have the correct torque already on here. I think this one they've been dicking with a little bit. See, some people come in here and relieve the tension on my torque wrenches because they say they have to do that. I never do that though. I leave them torque. Okay, where's my wrenches at? I never go by torques anyway. I torque them when I'm tight. Okay, so this one here, torque it. So there's factory torque. There's Tatro torque. Torque, me. Torque, me. There. A little bit more. Have a different feel than what they say. Okay, the little 1/4 inch one. Same deal. I torque them a little bit extra. You go torque, and then what I do, what I give it. So I have my own feel I use, so you can do whatever feel you want. They're torqued. Okay, now you go on the other side over here. We can do our push rod adjustment now. So the way you do that is you bring it down until it touches. And that's where you start, that's your 0 point. Make sure to lift your push rod's all up inside where it belongs. 0. So make sure the push rod is up inside the ball socket up here in the rocker. Okay, so right now the push rod is just touched against the top of the lifter down here. If you look at the lifter, it's up, the plunger's up against the snap ring right there. See the 3 different colors, you got black, brown, and tan. The tan is the plunger goes up and down. The brown there is the snap ring, and the black is the housing. So you can see the plunger's right up against the snap ring, so you know it's at 0. Now when you compress this down a little bit, these lifters won't collapse because they've got junk in them. Alright, well, if it didn't have anything in there, you can compress it, but I can't do it. Alright, so that's what you got. Now, these have with crane push rods, you want 18 flats is what you adjust it to, which is 3 full revolutions. Now the jam nut's right here. Now, if you tighten a jam nut against the push rod, it does not do anything. The adjuster unadjust on you about 3 to 5 miles. The bike will quit running. Now after you adjust it, you take the jam nut and go all the way down against the adjuster, and you jam these 2 together, and that locks it. Don't jam it up here, it doesn't do anything, dummy. Okay, so what I do is I hold the push rod, and I turn this here, and I count my flats. It's easier to count the flats than have some stupid mark, or try to figure out how many 3 turns is, or whatever you're doing. So these are 3/8 wrenches, so you just get 3/8 wrenches and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And you notice I went one extra. I just ran the lock nut down. Now you want one extra because when you tighten this, you lose a little bit. Now if you're smart, you hold your wrenches correctly. You can tighten it just by squeezing your hand like this, instead of doing this thing like this, trying to break your knuckles. Okay, so tighten them up pretty good. They're in there. Okay, now right now this is tight. It's already loosened up on me. See, I can turn the push rod in my hand right now. That means it's already collapsed, so I can turn the motor over. Now if you look down at that plunger down there, you can see now that the tan part is down below the brown part. See, it's down there about 100th thou. Because the plunger depth is 80 to 100th thou, somewhere in that area. That's what you're looking for. Oop. Something just took off. Ah. Now, if you cannot turn this push rod with your fingers easily, do not turn the motor over. Because if you do turn the motor over and the valves are open, you will have valve-to-valve clearance issues, which means you'll have bent valves, broken valve guides, and other maybe damage in there. A lot of people do that. Don't do that. It's very expensive. Okay, this one here we're already at our adjustment, so I come over here and get to my push rod. Demos. It was there until I moved it. Okay. Go to 0. And now we count our 18 flats again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's 9? That's a turn and a half. 10, 11, 12. 12 is what? 6 flats to a turn. How many turns is that? We call it 2 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's 7 and 12? Called 19. Okay, so hold the wrenches correctly. Like I said, you can just squeeze them together. Tight. Now if you got good strong wrenches that are nice and thick, you can put a lot of torque on it. Okay, right now I can't turn it. Barely turn it. So you wait a minute or so and it'll bleed down a little bit, and I can turn it by my hand. Now this plunger here should have the same depth to it as the other one. I don't know if you can see in there with this one. Kind of. Yeah, it's hard to see in there, obviously, but it's in there. Okay, so is this one loosened up yet? Okay, see now I can turn it with my fingers real nice and easily. See? This one too. Okay, so I can let those down. Now make sure you got the O-rings in here right now. O-rings and washers are in. O-rings and up there. Yep. Okay, good. That means I didn't forget anything. Okay, all of this stuff's all torqued already. So now we'll go ahead and turn the motor over and we'll watch the valves work and see if anything breaks. Now the hydraulics are going to bleed down as I do this, so we're not getting a true high lift number, but at least if you don't get no mechanical hitting right now, it's a good sign. If you hear a clicking noise or something stops moving, don't force it because your valves are hitting. So first thing you do is compress your intake valve, because I'm turning backwards right now. See how the valve opens up? Okay, your overlap's where you're going to touch. No clicking. See, I went right past that. There's one turn. Okay. Spin around. Okay, we do it again. Now the intake valve's open again. No coil bind. When it comes down, like I said, on the overlaps where you're going to click. No click. You either hit the valve or valve to piston. So we're good. So right now we're on the overlap condition, which means this one's over here is on the compression stroke right now. So if we go over here and look at your push rods, you can see that they're not moving right now. See how they're not moving? That means that we're on the compression stroke. Okay, where's my Phillips screwdriver at? Okay, now we need to go over here and check to see where we're at on our dome height. You can see how we're pretty high up on the dome right now. Move this on my elbow. Can't do that with one hand. Alright, I gotta do that with two hands. Gotta have some control of what I'm doing. Okay, we're dropping. And we're all the way up. Okay, so now we've got to work on this side of the motor. This side's done. Go over to this side. Okay, make sure you got everything in the hole. Push rods are in there. They're where they belong this time. This time the rocker box is sitting flat like it should have been doing before, but it's hung up in the air a little bit because we had a long push rod in there. That should have been my first clue I did something wrong. Okay, so I got my 4 5/16 bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and do these first. I always do these first because these are the ones that center the box and hold the box centered. They hold the rocker arms in. Okay, we just put a little bit of Loctite on all 4 of these. Okay, these are 2 short ones. This is not the short side. You can see that one's over there lower. Stick them over there. These 2 go over here. Shafts in the way on that one. Make sure your gasket's where it belongs. Okay, those bolts are all going in like they're supposed to. Okay, this one here is in the wrong spot. Shaft was too far that way. There, moved around a little bit, it's centered and went down. Boom. So if you can't make it go in, take a screwdriver, stick in the hole in here. You can move the shaft a little bit with a screwdriver just by jamming it back and forth. The medium flat blade works good because the flat blade will go right in the edge of the shaft and you got good leverage on moving it. These shafts are fairly easy to turn, so I don't have to do that. Okay, those are in there. And our 1/4" bolts. Got 3 of those, remember. Now the reason you got grade 8 bolts is you can see how much I torque those things. Torque them quite a bit. I think these ones have like 12 foot-pounds on them. I probably go at least 15 or 16. Or it might be 15, I go to 18, I forget. Whatever feels good for me. The big bolts, they're about 23, I think, foot-pounds. I pull them over 25. I believe in tightening stuff down. Like I said, you can either follow the book or torque or cord line. It's up to you. If your bolts have a lot of thread in there, like they should, you can pull them good. If they only got a few threads in there, you'll strip the threads right out. So that's why you'll make sure you got the right bolts and stuff in there. Right length and right grade. It does make a difference. Okay. Okay, I go down until I hit and then I back off. How's that elbow shot? Remember, we still have to center the box up over here. So. Over here a little better, you can see better. Do the 1/4" ones. Now, if they feel real gritty putting the bolts in there, stop and blow out the threads. If you got a bunch of crap in your threads, you're not going to get a good torque. You're going to cause damage. Okay, so now we've got our clearances here. Here, I moved around a lot. Okay, so like I said, I push straight in, center between the bolts. Then I look in there to see if we're hitting on anything. Check my clearances. This box has this one has a lot more clearance than the other box. So, what are you growling at, Scooby? You don't like the mailman today? Where am I at here? Okay. Those in there because I had the ratchet open for those right now. Okay, put a little torque on these now. torque. Okay, now we take a quick look at the hardware. Scooby, you gonna get that mail, man? I heard him down there growling. Okay, so now we go in here, look up in the clearances up under here. This one looks like it has more clearance than what the other side had, for whatever reason. So you might make sure over here, up under here is where they usually hit, way up under that area. See, I have a lot of gap right there. It looks tight here, but you over here, it's got a lot of gap. So these ones over here. See, these valves are open a little bit. See, I got a lot more clearance right now because the valves are open a little bit. I think, aren't they? No. This one is. This one's loose. I moved the push rod. So this one here is closed. So you can see the gap on this one. See how they're pretty tight. This box has a little bit more clearance for some reason. It's just production error. It's casting. They vary. Okay, so now we do our torque again. Do the big bolt first. Torque. My torque. Torque. My torque. Well, that's not my heavy torque, that's just my normal. My heavy torque is I do that again. There's a little extra quarter turn I'm giving. I give about this much extra. If I'm really torquing heavy, I'd go this much more. Yep, that's the wrong socket. Helps you have the right socket. I've been known to break off these 1/4 inch ones, so. That's how you know you got cheap bolts when they break. Those ones feel good. And these little outer ones, don't forget to torque these down too. That's good. And see, I can torque with both hands, see? Feels feel. Your brain tells you what you're doing, not your hand. Okay, that one's in there. We're on top dead center still right now, unless somebody moved the motor. If you're not sure, check it. Piston's right there, so it's pretty high up. So we're good. I'll go over here and do our valve adjustment. Notice how this time the valves are loose this time. Somebody had the right push rods in there this time. Makes a difference, huh? Can we blow this up a little bit so you can see better? Maybe. Okay, you can either do the intake or exhaust first, your choice. Okay, first thing I do is make sure I got clips. See, there's no O-ring right here right now. The O-ring is missing. The reason it's missing is because it's stuck right there. Put it down where it belongs. Pick up high, make sure they're all up in there. Yep. Yep. Gotta move the cover. Okay, so lift the push rod all the way up and tighten this one up until you touch. Okay, right there is 0. See how the push rod doesn't wiggle much? See? When it quits wiggling, you're tight. So if it's wiggling like that, you're loose. Right there. See? Quits wiggling. Okay. Find a comfortable thing to hold on to and then count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get in there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Move your 2 nuts down. And tighten them both up. If you put the wrenches in here correctly, like I said, it'll tighten up on you. If you have them backwards, it won't. So if you have the wrenches in here wrong, like this here. You do it like this. You squeeze on the wrenches, they get loose, see? So if you have to go like this to tighten your stuff like this, and you're pushing, when you slip, your fingers hit stuff, and you can't push you can't tighten up real good that way. If you go like this, and hey, dumbass, backwards again. If you go like this over here, see, now all your pressure is squeezing right here, so you can torque pretty good. Plus, I'm pushing the wrenches in to try to keep them from spreading the tip, because we are torquing pretty heavy. I have a pretty strong grip, so. Okay, this one obviously is moving already. So is that one, so they're both bled down already. If you're in doubt about your adjustment, all you do is look and see your plungers in here. See if the plungers are all the way down. So if they look like they're down below that snap ring height, you're in there all the way. It's hard to see with this. I don't have a good reference point, but they're down. I can see them down there a little bit. Probably on TV it's a lot bigger when I'm looking at, so you can see better. On that it's probably clear as hell what's going on. Okay, so these are all tight. Pull these off. We're going to turn the motor through once more on this side, and I'm going to check the valve action up here. Make sure nothing's happening. So there's full out, open. Now we're doing the overlap now, right there. And now you can see both push rods down here working together. See? So you look at the push rods, you can look at the rockers. Intake's open, closing, exhaust is opening, see the overlap right there, and the exhaust opens all the way. Okay, looks pretty good. Stop right there. Okay, so that all worked. Alright, now to drop these in, I like to put the lower cover in first. Medium screwdriver. This is medium. This is big. The small one's a little bit small like this, but flat blade. The medium works the best because it slides across here real nice and easy. A fat one's too fat. It doesn't fit very well. You have to, it's too big. The thin one, it'll actually split, a steel one will actually put a groove right through the damn thing. So the medium works the best. Now you can put a little bit of oil on the O-rings if you need to make these slip in easier. It should slip right down in there, like that. You take the inner, shove it up into the top, and shove the inner, the middle one down. There, that one wasn't in all the way. You hear it go pop when it's all the way in. Okay, now you can take your cover here, slide all up until you hit. The tension right here, like that. Pushing with your thumb as you go down. Pull out. Then you take both pieces and rotate as an assembly. That'll center the O-rings and take any twisting out of the O-ring. If an O-ring has a twist in it, it leaks oil. A lot of times these things will leak. I just go and twist them a little bit and they quit leaking. Because customers don't do it right. Okay, so same thing. Go until you touch, go up. Get your medium screwdriver. Stick it under, pull. I pull in the back side of my other finger back there. That way it doesn't get in the fins back there easily. Just kind of wiggle it up and pull it. Alright, those are good. Okay, same thing over here. These are already down all the way. Pick your inner up. Pop, here it go pop. Shove that one down. Good. I got all kinds of fancy tools I bought to make this easier. This works the best. The only way this doesn't work very good is on S&S covers. They have a little stupid groove in the damn thing. It doesn't work very well with those. Nothing works good for those things. They suck. Okay, there you go. That part's all assembled. Let me just put the lids up on the top. That part done. Okay, this is what the front's over here. Okay, this is a non-breather motor. That means we don't need the breather style gaskets that we have here. We have the wrong gasket set. See, there's no breathers on these gaskets. I mean these covers. So we don't need these breather style gaskets. So even though it's a 92 motor, he's got 91 and earlier rocker boxes on here. So I have the wrong gasket set for it, because these have the little breather cavities in here. So I gotta go get the right ones. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we're back. More missing parts that are wrong. Okay, these are gaskets without the breathers. So, this has earlier rock boxes on it. They're 91 and earlier boxes instead of 92 and later. So we have to get the right ones. Okay, the lower one here has a little kick up in the corner, like that. And the top ones are radiused. They're just round. So, gotta make sure you get the right ones. Okay, so these here just go down in here like they're supposed to. You have a straight side over here and you got a recessed side over here. Now, I don't put no sealer on these stupid things, I just put them down. If rubber is doing its job correctly, you don't need no stupid sealer on anything. Now, if you can't get them where they stick in the groove where they belong, you can put a little dab of grease on it, and that'll hold it down in there a little bit, if you need to. Sometimes you have to do that. This one didn't want to quite stay in there, but I'll stay down long enough to put this on is all that matters. Just lift it up on the other side though. Probably not going to stay put. Okay, or pop there. Wiggle around a little bit, popped in. Popped in on this side. Looks like it's in there where it belongs. So if the lid is sitting flat in here, like it's supposed to be, it's in there. Okay, now we put the top one on. Get one of these. Obviously doesn't go that direction. This one here fits a lot better. Don't forget to put the middle one in here. It will leak if you leave it out. It's in the kit over here. Now that one's the same on all of them. Oh, I mixed up my covers already. Oh well. Big deal. Okay, this is our upper lid here. Try to drop it straight down. See how it popped out right here. Let's push it in. Light pressure on it. Should pop right back in. You hear a little faint pop when they go in all the way. Okay. So just with it laying there, right now it's all the way in. O-rings up in there. So they look like they're even all the way around. That means you have them in there correctly. You also got to make sure this rubber here is not falling out. I've had that happen before also. It leaks like a sieve. Okay, they all look like they're pretty even. So we're good. Like I said, if it doesn't want to stay in, you can put a little grease on there, it'll stay in. The grease will dissipate away. Okay, now we're going to use a 12-point bolt kit here. I never use these stupid copper washers, and I'll see if I'm going to use these other ones under here. I don't know why they even bother giving those stupid copper washers. They don't do a damn thing. They have a theory. Theory being Harley. Everybody else just copied stupid Harley ideas. Okay, these all look good. No paper on the corners. These things look like they're pretty damn long. That'll be alright. Okay, pull out our washers, see if we like them. If we don't like the washers, I'm not going to use them. I've got a bunch of tape on it. So I don't care about the copper. Okay, looks like this is the only one with the tape all over it. Just stick them. Get that crap off. Yeah, we got interruptions already today. Alright, I'll clean this off. I'll get the phone. Be back.